everybody. We will call this meeting of the City Council for the City of Lathrup Village to order, and ask the clerk to call the roll.
Roll call, Mayor Brock,
Present?
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Here.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Here.
Councilmember Manarino Thompson,
Here.
and Councilmember Stallings. Here. Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. If we could rise and join with us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The agenda has been published. Is there any recommended changes or additions to the agenda? Hearing none, could we have a motion to approve the agenda as distributed?
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. We'll move on to the approval of minutes. The minutes for the study session held on February 22nd at 6 p.m. Are there any additions or corrections to that?
No, sir.
No.
Could we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, the motion carries. Then we have the minutes for the regular meeting of February 22nd. Are there any additions or corrections to any of those, minutes?
Is that the minutes?
None for me.
To adjust? Are those the meeting minutes? Okay.
Are there any corrections, additions? Hearing none, could we have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting for February 22nd? Sure, good. So moved.
Second.
Okay. It's moved and seconded. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. And finally, we have the minutes of the study session for the City Council held on March 7th, 2016. Are there any additions or corrections to those, these minutes?
No, sir.
Nothing.
Could we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, the motion carries. Next, we'll move on to the disbursement reports. As per usual, we have two time periods we're covering. The first is from February 1st through February 15th, in amounts totaling $48,070.49. The second one is for the period of February 16th through the 29th, in amounts totaling $296,625.42. Behind those summary sheets, there is all the detail that backs these things up, so I would ask if council members have any questions about any of this detail or just anything your little heart desires.
I have none.
Have done?
None.
I have none.
Ms. Pardon?
I don't have it.
Mrs. Thompson?
No.
Could we have a motion to approve the disbursement reports?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion is carried. At this time, we allow at this time for individuals in our audience who wish to discuss issues that were not listed on the agenda. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to ask a question or call something to the attention of the council?
Don't force them.
Huh?
Don't force
I'm not going to force anybody, no. You people, oh no, I'm sorry.
Well, Mayor Brock, while they're trying to decide, there's couple of time bank events coming. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you could,
You said it was
nobody
okay.
is, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
No, it comes at the end.
Want me to wait?
Did I move on to that already?
No, you're only for the
I thought you
audience.
said I could,
That
but
part
that's
comes at
fine.
the end.
Oh, he can do it then, I don't care, but my point is, we finished, we did approve the disbursement report.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not just my imagination, all right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
We,
Okay, so there are 3 events happening in the Lathrup Village Time Bank. This Wednesday, there's going to be Indian cooking class. I think you're going to be a part of that, right?
Yeah,
And
signed up for that.
yeah, so there's an Indian cooking class happening at
are you
Afshan
actually Indian?
Siddiqui's house. And if you're not a part of the Lathrup Village Time Bank Facebook page, you can contact Mr. Rob Mantinen at 248-763-8567 if you're interested in learning Indian cuisine. And that would be this Wednesday, so contact Rob. He'll give you specific times and the address, and it will be in Lathrup Village. Second event is a wellness class, which is being conducted by the Alliance of Time Banks, and the Lathrup Village Time Bank. They've partnered with the Alliance of Time Banks. And again, you can go right to the Alliance of Time Bank Facebook page, and that will give you a lot of detail. And of course, if you don't have access to the web, you can contact Rob again at 248-763-8569. And the last event is coming up on May 14th. It's called the Spring Roll, sponsored by the Time Bank again. And the Spring Roll is basically sort of like the Detroit Slow Roll, but they're going to have a spring roll. And it's going to happen in the spring, and at the end, you get to eat spring rolls. For
I thought the spring roll was
That
similar
would
to
be
an
May
egg
14th.
roll, you know.
May 14th. And again, the phone number, if you don't have Facebook access, is 248-763-8569. And that's all for me. Thank you. Yes. 8569.
Did you wish to be recognized, sir? If you'd come and step to the microphone and give your name and address for the record.
My name is Kenneth Warren. My address is 23480 Coventry Woods, Southfield. I'm here to just to attend and hear the first reading of the adult daycare zoning. I see it's on the agenda, and just my family, we all here because we are interested in setting up an adult daycare
All right.
facility here in Lathrup.
Fine. We're glad you're here with us. Yeah. All right. Pardon?
At the end.
Sure. Well,
Well, I just want to bring
I'll
to
let
the
one do it
attention
now, so might as well. Go ahead.
of the community that something's free from DTE, and that is a
This may be the only thing.
DTE free, a home energy consultation. All you have to do, I don't have a mic on.
You don't have your mic on.
Okay.
And I'm surprised we haven't heard from the control room
I
already.
am too. Okay. So again, a free program from DTE for residents of Michigan, home energy consultation. So you get free shower heads, free faucet aerators, and hot water pipe wraps, and night lights, and LED lightings throughout your home. It's free. All you have to do is call 866-796-0512. Again, 866-796-0512. I'll also leave some of these down in the with Matt.
I had that
Okay.
done, and that is really a good service. They take all of your lights that are not the LED lights out of your house and replace them with brand new lights.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. I have-
You're welcome.
Yes.
And then do they sell the old ones on the black market or something? Oh,
I don't know
never
what they
mind,
do
never
with it, but I know I have a lot blown right now.
DTE free.
Yes.
So any other
All right.
questions too, you can call and ask me.
Thank you.
I have.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Shower head.
does
There you go.
anyone else wish to be recognized to comment during this period? Hearing none, okay, we'll move on. There are no public hearings this evening, nothing advertised, none scheduled, so we'll move on to the action request. The first is the consideration of a telecommunications contract, which was tabled. And I think I understood, Matt, is this the one you wanted to continue the tabling until our next meeting?
Please, sir.
Okay.
I'll make,
Do we need any motion other than that? Or?
No, sir.
Because we would have needed a motion to take it off the table.
That's
So
correct.
if we're going to leave it, we'll just
Move to the next item.
leave it. All right. Item B, the City Council will consider a proposal from the MML Executive Search Team, which we did hear about in the study session.
In this search, oh, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
In the search, it's probably kind of obvious, but if we have people that we want to recommend to MML, that's fine as well, right? We can,
Right, they
Sure.
would apply and be a part of the applicant.
They have to get into the database.
Right.
okay. And
Yeah,
then
if there's
they can
anyone-
still vet them.
I think if anybody has a candidate they think might be
Right,
good, why,
okay.
to advise them, and we could just run it through Matt, I suppose, and he gets a call, and he can get the information to the MML then of this individual.
Okay.
Does that
I can
sound
absolutely
right?
do that. Yes, sir.
So Matt is the liaison between this process?
Yes, for right, well,
For now?
I'd say for right now, sure.
There will be a preferred method of contact once they're farther into the process. But
Okay.
absolutely, right now, I can facilitate that for the council.
Okay. Maria,
right.
you had a question?
No, the initial phases of the process are anonymous, or we won't know
Right.
who the candidates are, and the candidates, won't be known to us.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
now, does this go for internal people also? Because I know that we had talked about, no, that was for assistant. Assistant city
They do offer the service for department heads. The cost is not adjusted.
But we don't need to do that for the internal.
No.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to know.
We should discuss personnel later.
Do what?
Discuss personnel, internal positions later.
How much later?
And certainly,
Do you have a recommendation?
yeah, we can sit around after.
6 months from
after
now?
the council. No.
After the council, yeah, after we're done.
Okay.
No.
So,
Right.
what do you need,
You don't need any
more discussion? I asked all
No,
my
it needs to
questions.
make it can't be made, the motion can't be made as is, it has to be reworded. Correct, Scott?
That's correct. Depending on the council's pleasure, there's essentially two proposals that we heard about tonight during the presentation. One is a not to exceed $10,000, which is a basic package service, and then the second would be the not to exceed $15,000, which could best be described as basic plus. And unfortunately, the proposal that was provided didn't specifically outline all the services that would be included in basic plus. So the representative indicated that they would provide that within the next week. So.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly had an opportunity to
The-
discuss what those were, but they're just not spelled out in the, what we have on paper in front of us.
So I can make the motion.
I just wanted to share with council, I had a conversation about a week ago, within the last week, with representatives of Plant Moran, which is the firm that does our auditing. They also have expertise that they use with their clients to. The one thing that they raised the question of is, with Matt presumably going to another employment, what configuration of staff should we have in the city? In other words, we are been operating with, the idea of really two assistants, I guess. One that was for what?
the DDA.
Huh?
For the DDA.
Primarily for DDA, and was that all, did that also include the Main Street stuff? or
It
not?
formerly did. We did realign some of the duties so that one of our administrative assistants took on that role.
Yeah,
So our assistant position mainly handles economic development, DDA, building, planning, and zoning.
and the other one?
The other one is mostly works under building and zoning or planning and code enforcement as well. So they work primarily for the assistant, and they support the the Main Street activities as well as general customer service.
And we had, in fact, one or two of our council members have raised the question of our treasurer. And the idea of what should be her role, or could be her role.
Right, right.
And that's the kind of questions that Plant Miranda is offering to come in and help us with. They have a bigger view than we have, obviously, from 50,000 feet or whatever it is, compared to us who are so close to the issues and the personalities. So,
Indeed.
I think that is just a good idea to have someone on the outside that has that expertise because of, it's a good time while we're changing to have
yeah.
someone like that to come out, an entity to come out and help us with.
Okay, I'm good.
So here's my question.
If that's,
How much, it depends on how much it costs, but
well, we're
Is that
going,
in addition, Mike, what I want to ask you about Plant Moran, that's just coming out to be, to give us advice or to be advisory
right. an
towards it? That's
advisory.
not another cost, and that's not
Could be, I
instead
don't know,
of
I haven't
MML.
gotten that far.
So that's, my
But
question is for
I
that
could
then.
ask them to define what it is they're really saying they could do for us.
So should we not do something on the MML yet? Because
Well,
still
we don't have the revised thing in front of us, so we could
should we take?
table it.
we could table it, and I could ask them to quickly get out to me the types of things they're talking about.
Because one thing, and then also to find out, is Plant Moran going to offer the same type of services? Because that's
For recruitment?
Yeah, because that
Yeah,
confuses
and
me.
I do not know if they do or not.
I've
but
never heard of them
Yeah, that's-
handling the search.
my suspicion would be that they would be more advisory in terms of what roles do we need here, and
I think it's two
what-
separate.
What would be the
Yeah.
definement of duties? However, if that's all they do, in other words, now I'm not saying that that's negligible, but if that's what they do, it would seem to me that you would have that kind of advice given ahead of time, and we arrive some kind of agreement before we go out searching.
Right.
So that's all. That's the point. That was my point of bringing it up.
Okay.
Well, the last time we saw them, weren't they tasked to detail what they would provide for us and what kind of service?
For the MML, you
No,
mean?
for Plant Moran.
I don't
Last time
recall that. But
They were supposed to detail,
they usually have to do
they
that
did.
related to the audit.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what you saw.
and we did get that.
And I think they would, Pam Hill is the partner in Plant Moran that has our account, and she's the one who called me on this matter. And I would imagine they have other specialists she might pull in for such a study under her direction, so.
Well, what makes sense is to have something else to compare it with.
Yeah.
My question, can it be voted on in a couple of weeks? Can we vote on it or is
Yeah.
everything voted? Yeah, a couple of weeks won't hurt to get another opinion.
We can. The one risk you run is that our incumbent obtains the new contract for his
In the 60 days.
proposed new job,
Right.
in which case we might have to make some decisions in the interim about who is your acting city administrator.
Right. And I did make a recommendation to council to utilize a tenured city administrator or city manager who is available
Right.
now.
Right.
And who I'd like to bring in to meet the city council at an upcoming meeting if they so feel.
should do that.
But it still makes sense to
I mean, we don't
Yeah.
know how much
I
time.
think that we should table
I don't know how long it's
Yeah.
going to take.
Well,
These negotiations are slow.
I like, and I think the idea about Plant Moran is a good suggestion, because I think that is something that, you know, in the past, I don't know how many years now, we have been asking more and more of our city administrator, and the roles have been, you know, expanded. And so I think that is important to have Plant Moran, maybe we talk about having them give us some guidance on that. But I don't know that that necessarily slows down or stops you know, the process with MML. I think,
But
you know.
I could make that inquiry and determine if, for somehow they would interfere with each other, so.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I'm sure that as long as they've been doing auditing and other services for municipalities, that they've run into this before, where somebody's got a professional search firm and
yeah, and
whatever.
I don't, I'd be in favor of going ahead with the agreement with MML right now, and I mean, they're not. Their first steps are not imminent anyway.
right.
So I'd be in favor of going ahead with that, and then inquiring as to how Plant Moran's expertise can be used as we
Okay,
get
is
started.
there,
But I have a question. Their first steps, though, we'd have to agree to pay them, right?
Yeah.
So,
they're not working for free
right, I
anymore.
know they're not working for free,
That's true.
so.
No, you've got it
So
right.
we can't, so you're saying, go ahead and agree to pay them, but if Plant Moran does come through,
Plant Moran's not going to be doing our search for us.
That's what my question
we don't
was.
know
That
that.
was what my
Yeah, we
question.
do. I mean, they don't do that.
they don't.
But that's
Okay.
what, that was my
Oh, okay,
question about
that's-
from the very beginning of when the mayor brought this up. is
We
that
could ask them if they
We
do
have to
it. I don't
find out
think
what
they
is
do.
their services that
Maria's
they're
saying
offering
they
to
don't.
us, because are they being advisory, or do they want to be paid to help us find a replacement?
Oh, maybe I
And-
misunderstood.
Yeah, and
I don't think they're
and that's why I
looking to
don't
help
think-
us, you know,
No,
in the
they're not.
search. I think what they're helping us to do, and I think it's important for them to do, is to weigh in on what the appropriate role of an appropriate compensation for a
Right.
city administrator
So
is.
a suggested approach might be to move ahead with the search firm, that approval, and that fact, and include in the motion somehow that Plant Moran will be contacted to talk about what services they might provide to advise us on
Yeah, because
reorganization.
we asked MML in the study session whether or not they had the ability to give us any guidance on the specific role of a city administrator, and I thought their answer was no. But I think that is an inquiry we need to make, and Plant Moran may be in the best position to do that.
In speaking to staff members and council members, they would put together a list of duties and roles for the new city administrator.
Yeah.
That's part of what they advertise. So that process would take place. Now, certainly with some support, it could be augmented, but I do know the MML works through that process.
I just would like to know if I mean, I think that we should go ahead with the search through the MML, but I would also want to know if Plant Moran is going to be an additional charge for the advisory portion of it. And is that going to be something that, are they going to be offering the same thing that maybe the MML will be offering also?
I'll ask.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Is there a suggested motion by someone else?
That we-
Well, I mean, my suggested motion would be to approve the contract, the attached proposal from the Michigan Municipal League Executive Search Team for an amount not to exceed
But can we do that with the open points? With the
I think so, because I
Yes.
think that's going to be part of the process.
Yeah, I think you can.
With what open points? So you're talking about the dollars, the
detail,
the
the
detail.
bullet points.
I think she's going to make,
Right.
Say that,
For a figure not to exceed 15,000 with the condition that they provide additional information regarding the specific services in the expanded search process.
I think council also requested that they provide
Detail.
some additional detail with respect to what would happen in the event that the selected candidate did not stay for 2
Yes.
years. What would the price point be for the additional services?
Right.
That was requested as well.
So you can make it with the.
put it
they
in
can
writing,
Offer a bounty or something.
put it in writing.
make it with those conditions.
Once they meet
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
with the conditions, okay.
With the condition.
Yes,
Yes.
Do we have a second?
yes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion on this item? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Item C, the City Council will consider a contract extension with Utility Services Authority.
Mr. Mayor, we have worked with Utility Services of America since 2014. They're our lowest bidder through our normal bid process, so working out through Mitten. For the last 2 years, they have provided us with good service, and they have also agreed to keep their pricing at the 2014 level. After having worked in the city, they understand the work site. They know they have easy access to it. It's not a particularly difficult job that they're having to do. There's not a lot that makes it more difficult than it ought to be.
What do they do?
They actually do our cure-in-place pipelining, which is...
Oh, that's the group. Thank you.
Yeah, they pull...
It helped a lot if you'd said that in the beginning. Then I'd known what they were doing. Okay, thank you.
So those that are unaware of this, we've been working for years and years and years to further increase the structural reliability of our sanitary sewer system. Part of the way we do that is to actually utilize a plastic insert that runs through each of the pipes on the sanitary sewer. This is a project that has actually yielded quite a few benefits and has actually, I would say that and the work on the retention tank in the 90s is what keeps us from flooding many, many basements. So the good news is that having looked at the work site this year and the information that was provided to them by the city engineer, USA Services has agreed to keep their 2014 pricing intact, and always doing our due diligence. We checked that across a couple of other bid results that came through around this area, and we do find it's competitive. And we would see cost savings on not having to do new engineering specs. So it would probably be about $3,000 to $5,000 that we'd save by going with this company over going out, rebidding, and possibly coming up with something higher.
Okay.
And their services have been
Yes.
very good.
This is the type of work where they have to be in people's backyards, which, having done code enforcement for years, makes people uncomfortable, but I do not have any negative feedback or anything like that from this group. They're very respectful, they work well with their homeowners, and that's not worth a dollar amount, but it's worth quite a bit.
Okay.
So the contract to you today is a not to exceed $81,800 that would be payable to Utility Services Authority, Inc.
Well, I'll make an motion. Do I do that now?
Sure.
To approve an extension of the city's existing contract with Utility Service Authority, Inc. to provide sanitary sewer relining at a cost not to exceed $81,800.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, where did the 81,800 number come from?
The
It's
second,
from the 2014 total? Or-
no, this is from the miles of pipe, or the linear feet of pipe that we're relining this year per our capital improvements plan. So they take that and they do a price per linear foot. And that's what they've kept since 2014. And so that's the second page underneath the one with the USA letterhead.
Yep.
It details the individual costs to those projects.
Gotcha. Okay. adjustments?
On,
Costs, the linear fee.
they tend to come in under budget. That's not something we could ever count on.
Okay.
But no, we're quite happy, given what we're seeing in other communities when they go out to bid, to have the $81,800 as a total price per linear foot.
Okay.
And we certainly don't want them to budget on their wrapping, right? So, no.
You don't, huh? All right. Any other discussion?
No, sir.
All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Have a proposed amendment to the fee schedule.
Mr. Mayor, I have attached some information on it, as well as an excerpt from the affected areas of our fee schedule. The work, or the proposal this evening is specific to building permits. Currently, we have a phase system. We have under 1,000, 1,000 to 10, and then 10,000 and above. As you can imagine, with the various types of building permits that are starting to be pulled and the renovations that we're starting to see, this number is low for the scope of the projects that we find. So what that has an effect of is that ends up driving the price per the permit out of a range that we can justify with our costs. So my counter proposal, or my proposal to remedy this issue, would be to put 2 additional tiers in place of 10,000 to 100,000. I'm sorry, 3. 10,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to 500,000, and then $500,000 plus. We've even had a couple of homes remodeled this year. 2 of them were up in the $300,000 range. And we don't have any way of administratively lowering those costs, but in 2 of those situations, the permit fees were 6% of the total project, which is well above what you'd find as a standard in many other communities. So this would help alleviate those issues. And it's, I think, a better service to those who want to invest in the buildings and the structures across our city.
Now, are these comparable to other city fees?
Yes, ma'am. I actually use the brackets that are recommended by the State Building Office through LARA, which Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, I think, is the acronym at the state level. So these are the recommended levels. We did a cost study to make sure that the initial fees are commensurate with the amount of effort and the amount of oversight that we would have to put into them. And so we adjusted the initial fees, but the cost per 1,000 on each of the 3 tiers is what's recommended by the state building official, or state building office.
Thank you.
Any other? Well, we don't have a motion yet, do we?
No, do we
Is there
not?
anybody wishes to make a motion to adjust the fee schedule, make the changes, approve the changes in the fee schedule?
I make a motion to adjust the building permit fees as shown in the report.
As recommended by the city administrator. It's moved and seconded. Is there any discussion now?
No, sir.
Just one. So the 3 in red,
Yes.
those are your proposals, 10,000 to
Yes.
100,000,
Yes, sir.
100,000 to 500,000, and 500,000 plus.
That's correct.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Next consideration is to consider approval of a liquor license for the Summer in the Village event. This is something we've routinely done each year. The state does issue special liquor permits in the case of cities and villages and others that for events they are conducting. So, but we do need, you have to have council approval for us to submit the request to the state of Michigan. Anything to add, Mr. City Administrator?
Summer in the Village, June 18th. We're already
June 18th.
getting excited for it.
It's moving on. We're coming closer. Could I have a suggested motion? Is in your packet, folks.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve a liquor license for the summer in the village. All those, excuse me, is there any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Next is the first reading of an amendment to the zoning code, and I think that's what you were been waiting for. I looked at this real quickly and I thought, I think I've had those poor people sit here, and I don't even have it on, then I found it, so
There's a lot of articles in
I'm glad we didn't waste your time. City Attorney.
Absolutely, Mr. Mayor. This is a first reading of the amendment, comes to you from the Planning Commission that was worked on, like many, I think Matt indicated in his memo, several months, several iterations of this came back to the Planning Commission before it finally made its way to council. The draft, or the first reading that you see in front of you, what it does is it sets forth some standards for adult and child daycare facilities, as well as creates or makes each proposed adult or child daycare facility a special land use, which would require the applicant to go through the Planning Commission, which at that phase could impose additional restrictions, criteria on each applicant based on a applicant by applicant basis. Some of the primary concerns that Planning Commission had with respect to these facilities is that there is no universal oversight. There's no state level regulatory body. So they did want to lay out some structure with respect to adequate supervision, some other concerns with respect to utilization of space in these facilities, and that's what this ordinance does.
And this is,
Go ahead. Any
this is
questions?
regarding non-residential adult day care
That's
only.
correct.
That's right.
These are facilities drop off and pick up in the same day. There's no overnight.
Have you seen this proposed document? Pardon?
But
Would
they're
you-
non-residential.
I'll give you a copy. if you
Okay.
want.
And are they in a certain area that they are in?
Yeah, this proposed ordinance amendment would allow for them, as I indicated, special land uses in the public service district, the office district, the commercial vehicular district, the village commercial district, first floor and second, first floor only in the, I'm sorry, first and second floor in the village commercial district, as well as the mixed use and the gateway office district. That's where they would be permitted as special land uses. Pretty much the only one that they wouldn't be permitted would be residential.
Wow.
Okay.
I would have liked it to be anywhere but like in the center here but for obvious reasons, I think that that's going to be like our downtown area here, right?
That's the plan, yeah.
That's the plan.
Right. So is there a way that we can talk about possibly just excluding that one area?
So where is it being proposed?
No, pardon me.
Well, there's not actually a proposed, the city doesn't have any proposed pending applications for proposed use. This would create a framework for an applicant. It would identify an area, the areas where it would be allowed. And it's not automatic, it's a special land use, so it would have to go in front of the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission would have the ability to review the application, and then based upon perhaps the proposed location or any of the other factors involved with the application, they could impose specific criteria specific to that applicant. Because it's a special land use, they have that ability to impose additional conditions above and beyond what's already in the ordinance.
Yeah, but you can't say you can't go into that area if it's in the ordinance that you can go into the area. So what I'm saying is there a way to omit that one area out there so that it could be our downtown area without a daycare center?
This is something that was discussed at the Planning Commission level,
Okay.
but because you don't want to without, I guess you'd have to have good cause or good reason why you would want to exclude it from a specific area, and there wasn't, at least in the discussions the Planning Commission had, there was nothing that came out or was set forth, or issues or concerns that were raised with the planners or with the commissioners that would have justified excluding it from any particular area.
So just cause is not,
Just cause is not.
that's not going to do it, okay. Give me that look.
But it's, no, I'm just thinking it's the
Okay.
daycare, though. It's with specific operating hours and, okay.
So what are the requirements?
Surely you would
What are
rather
they?
not have it, that type of business included in the center city district, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
I just would like to see it to be,
What are
if
the
possible.
requirements?
Yeah, what are the
I
requirement
just want to
timing?
know so we can,
Well, the requirements are set forth, it would be adding a section
3.15.
I'm sorry, we'd be adding 4.16 is
Okay.
the section that we would be adding.
Yep. Use standard.
See, it addresses issues such as adequate off-street parking, site layout and design to ensure pedestrian safety, separating outdoor activity play areas from parking and driveways, area requirements for childcare facilities, provided that such spaces are sufficiently secure to ensure adequate supervision of the clients, requires minimum indoor areas, 50 square feet of indoor play area shall be provided per child between 2 weeks and 2.5 years old, and a minimum of 35 square feet per indoor play area shall be provided for children over 2.5 years old. Indoor play areas shall be computed exclusive of hallways, bathrooms, reception, office areas, kitchens, storage areas, closets, basements, except those that are finished and have the dual purpose or means of ingress and egress used exclusively for rest or sleep.
And members of council, that the wording specific to children will be amended by the time it comes back to you for a second reading.
Okay, thank you.
Required outdoor areas, minimum of 100 square feet per outdoor play area shall be provided per child, minor utilizing the outdoor play areas at any given time. Total outdoor play area shall be not less than 1,200 square feet unless a greater amount is required by the state. The area requirements for adult daycare facilities provide similar type standards. Require an indoor minimum of 60 square feet of multi-purpose space shall be provided for each participant. Again, this excludes office space, storage, restroom, hallways, areas similar to that. Minimum of 50 square feet supervised outdoor recreation space shall be provided for each participant utilizing outdoor recreation area at any given time. All the hours set forth will be consistent with those that are already established under the city's current ordinances with respect to hours of operation. So those are the basic standards that would be included in the ordinance. As I indicated, additional standards are subject to being imposed on each particular applicant just based upon the location and the proposed plan of the applicant. That's something that the Planning Commission would have that ability to impose.
Is there a limitation on how many?
No, there's not.
Well, I think there is. I thought there was a limit as to the number within a certain area. Let me see if I can find it.
It's under.
Because there was discussion and.
It is. It's under, I think it's 4-16, and it's A, still on page 4 at the very top. Is that what you're talking about?
Where,
Page 4A at the
well,
top?
I'm on,
Result in
mine's on
excessive
the,
number.
Pardon me?
Excessive number.
Yep, excessive number clause.
It says, when permitted as a special land use, the planning commission shall find that the facility does not result in an excessive number of such facilities in the city in relation to the evidence of need.
Right, so there's not a defined
Not a
number.
well, it was something that we had talked about, and I don't know if I see it in here. The planning
We
commission did talk about it.
didn't determine on a,
I thought it was a percentage.
no, we left it as
Was that taken out?
Are you talking about number of locations or head count?
number of locations.
Number of locations.
the head count is addressed with respect to the adequate supervision provision. Each facility shall have a minimum staff of 1 per 6.
Okay.
So it's going to be, the head count would be limited by the number of staff that the facility would
For
have.
that.
With respect to the number of facilities, we didn't put in a specific number, say, for example, only 10 of these facilities can come into the city. It's going to be based on the
Well, I
need.
thought-
It's going to be up to the
No,
applicant.
I'm referring to page 3. No more than 25% of the street-facing facade on the same side of a single block along a primary street.
That,
So it's going to limit by operation of that.
that's only with respect to the village commercial district. That does not apply to other districts. And that is, it's not, and also that is not specific to just adult or child care facilities. That's an amendment to, that provision already exists, but we're simply adding to that banks, financial institutions, professional, medical, administrative offices, and daycare centers. And we're adding daycare centers to the current limitation for in the village center district.
So by operation, it would limit just in the
Village center district.
village center area.
It would limit the amount of frontage that a facility could have facing a primary street.
But no limit otherwise in other districts.
Correct. Well, again, it would be require a demonstrated need that
Because
there
it's
is.
special land use.
Correct.
Okay, that's limited.
Does anyone want to advance this motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the first reading of
Amendments.
and amendments to sections to the zoning ordinance to allow for adult daycare facilities and set forth April 18th, 2016 for the second reading and adoption.
Does seem like we have too many words.
Yeah,
in there,
that's
doesn't it? Have an amendments.
Approve the first reading
amendments plural to section TO to the zoning ordinance
I think the
to
and
allow
needs to
for
come
adult daycare facilities.
I think that-
What do you think ought to come out of
I
there?
think it should be approved the first reading of amendments to sections, to these sections.
Admittedly, I should stop letting my kids write these.
Yeah. It's a
Stop
lot of
letting your
words,
kids
but
write it?
approve the first reading of amendments to the zoning ordinance to allow for
Right.
adult daycare facilities and set April 18th, 2016 for the second reading and adoption.
Is there a second to motion?
I will second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Right.
All opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
3-2. So the motion
I would
carries.
just like a few changes with it. I want it, but
Well, why don't
it
you?
carried anyway, right? So,
Well, we approved the first reading.
oh, okay.
So if you want to see something else, you can advance that at our next meeting.
Great, okay.
Okay.
So,
So that would be fine.
Can we clear up the definition a bit? Maybe we can have a study session to, discuss it in detail, because it's a bit confusing, just the way you read it.
Okay. Yeah, we could put it on the next study session.
yeah,
Okay.
let's just.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Next is the acceptance of departmental reports. The reports are in your packet. I would ask for a motion to accept the departmental reports as submitted.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Now, does anybody have any particular questions or comments about any of the individual reports that you might like to have clarification on or whatever?
Well, This is not including the administrator's report, right?
No,
Okay.
the
so I had a
administrator's
question on that one.
report is
Okay.
in the middle of this somehow, but
Yeah.
in fact, I only have two of them,
Shouldn't.
so, okay. So you're talking about the Lathrup Village Police Department reports, code enforcement, public services, and the Planning Commission minutes. Were there any minutes from the Planning Commission in this? I didn't.
Yes, sir.
Yes, there are.
There are, okay, I just thought I'd missed them for a minute. Oh, there they are. Okay. Any comments, questions?
I have a question. I do have a question.
Okay. Gotta grill the chief, huh?
It was just something from our last meeting that I think, you weren't here, I'm sorry. You weren't here. I just remembered we had something,
We're really sorry you weren't here, actually.
was a police summary report that there was a disturbance at a daycare center or a home that was considered adult daycare.
Adult foster care.
Yeah. Well, no, it was considered daycare because that's what's caught our
really?
eye. It was considered daycare, and someone was going to look into it to see exactly what was it operating as.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to follow up with that one.
Roberts did get me his report. It looks like the Community Congregational Church is operating an adult daycare facility.
In a residence or?
No, this is actually in the village center. So they're in the building. So they're in the building.
church
Yeah.
Okay.
so
proper,
There are
yeah.
2 buildings north of us now.
It was written up like it was in
That's
residential.
interesting that they got it, they put that in there.
Right.
Because they've had a nursery
But
school,
they've got childcare now and adult care.
preschool.
And can they do that?
No,
Okay.
not by the Lathrup Village
Well,
ordinance.
we
They
just-
cannot.
we just-
No,
So
they can't.
are we,
Yeah,
They are,
We're
but
handling
they
it through
can't
code
do it.
enforcement.
okay, so we're following up on that? Okay.
Are we going to interface with them to?
Yes, we're, like I said, we're
Cease
handling it
and
through code
desist?
enforcement. We set a meeting with the church elders. We frequently have a contact with one individual over there.
It's the Seventh-day Adventist Church? Yeah, thought so.
Our building official took the meeting. I have not heard the results of it as of yet.
Thank you.
This is a quick question. On the 27th, there was a car accident on Bungalow, and the reason why I know that is because someone hit my car, and I don't see it on this report.
I'd have to take a look and see, and you came in and made a report?
The officer came out
Okay.
and made the report and printed it off. It was printed off from the vehicle.
We don't print accident reports from the car.
Well, he took all the
You took notes?
information. Yeah, he
Let me
took-
take a look into it.
Yeah, yeah.
You say on the 27th?
On the 27th,
Okay, let me
at
go.
about 5:30.
Okay, I'll go take and see what happened.
On or about?
Was it in your driveway or private property
It
or
was,
something like that?
someone ran the stop sign and hit my car.
Okay, let me take a look into it and find
Okay.
out what happened.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Wow.
Any other questions for anybody, or points of order? Then
Thank you.
we'll call the motion. All in favor of accepting the departmental reports as submitted, please say aye.
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 All opposed? The motion carries, and the reports are a matter of record. City Administrator's report.
Yes, I have 2 items for the City Council. We are excited to have the place plans report done, and the MML has made these final reports public. You can find a link on our website, as well as the MML, www.mml.org. They're very proud of them. We're very proud of them. We look forward to delving into some of the recommendations they make as we plan the future in our village center. The second item is that our police unions, we've entered negotiations with them. I have a meeting with them tomorrow. I expect it to be very fruitful, and look forward to reporting back to you on at our next public meeting. And the last item is just an update for council.
Okay. Anything else? The city attorney, do you have any items of legal interest for us?
Nothing from my office tonight.
All right, thank you. City Council have any unfinished or new business that they wish to bring up this time?
Nope. Just a reminder of the home energy loan.
All right.
Oh, I didn't give the phone, okay. For those that just tuned in, again, the home energy consultation, DTE free, call 866-796-0512, get free light bulbs, free hot water pipe wraps, faucet aerators, shower heads, and LED lights throughout your home. And some of these will be downstairs, and if you have any questions, you can always call me.
Okay.
Can you give out your phone
Just a
number?
quick
Say that
question.
again?
You don't know if you're going to give out your phone number.
Oh, everybody has my number.
Right.
Now, just a quick question, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor. Is there a way we can, and we probably can have a study session on this, maybe we can figure out a way to incorporate some of the time bank activities with, and align them with what's going on with the city, because the time bank has a lot of activities going on, and it seems like it's a secondary, outside of the realm of this event. So if we can coordinate that and merge it somehow, where we can, be all encompassing for all the residents, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor, I don't see in the reports the code enforcement. Did I miss that?
No, I noticed that as well. I'll have to send it over to you separately. I'm not sure why it was didn't merge in the document.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Correspondence, I have one piece of correspondence from the Arbor Day Foundation. On behalf of the Arbor Day Foundation, I write to congratulate Lathrup Village on earning recognition as a 2015 Tree City USA. Residents of the village should be proud to live in a community that makes the planting and care of trees a priority. This is which year?
This is our 20th year of having this
20th
certification.
consecutive year that we've received this recognition, so I want to pass this up to him.
Good news.
Okay, that's always nice to have.
That's the whole city, 20th year.
I have no further business to note here to come before this meeting, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
It's been moved. Is there a second? Or do you all want to stay here all night?
Second.
It's been seconded. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for being here.